Hello, my name is Mr. Nikko, and I'm going to be showing you some cutting techniques for my cooking club video. I hope you enjoy, and if you like the video, please like and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment on if you tried this technique or not. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. Alright, so today we're going to be dicing and just regular cutting an onion, and you're going to see how that works and what that looks like. So when you're ever doing cooking stuff, always make sure that you wash your hands first, okay? Wash your hands with soap and water, and make sure you get that nice lathered up. And I like to do my forearms too, just in case I randomly touch food. But you always want to wash your hands. That is the #1 rule when it comes to cooking. Always wash your hands. Today, we're going to be using a kitchen knife. Now, the importance about a kitchen knife, right? You want a sharp knife because you let the knife do the work when you're cutting, okay? You always let the knife do the work when you're cutting. So, I'm going to get a kitchen knife. This is my kitchen knife. Very nice, very clean. I'm going to use this thing called a sharpener because anytime you cut, you want to make sure that knife is nice and sharp. Which is also another thing. Please, if you're going to do this activity, make sure you have a parent nearby to watch you. So if anything goes wrong, they're there. But I'm going to show you some different holding techniques for when you cut. And when you hold your whatever you're cutting too. Because that's an important thing too when you're cutting any kind of thing. You have to have the proper technique to hold it. So when you're cutting it, you don't chop your fingers off or cut your finger or something. So, excuse me. So right now, I'm going to show you what I do when I'm holding my knife. So what I do when I'm holding my knife is I grab my knife, right? Here's the knife. What I'll do is I will grab the knife at the very top, okay? So right about here, okay? And then with my other fingers, I hold the blade itself, okay? So I hold the blade itself. Now, the reason why you want to do this is because then you're going to have full control over your knife, right? I have full control over this knife. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap the rest of my fingers around the knife. So now it looks like this. I'm holding my knife like a pinch, like this. So now I have full control, okay? That is exactly what you want to do, full control of your knife. Okay, now, when it comes to cutting an onion, onions have a layer, okay? They have an outside layer that you got to get rid of because that is not edible. And if it is edible, I don't know because I've never ate it. But you shouldn't eat the outside, from what I understand. Okay, so whenever you're cutting an onion, you have to make sure too, when cutting onions, you're going to cry. That is the natural way of things. The onion has a chemical that it releases that will make you cry. So you're going to cry. Just know you're going to cry. So some methods in getting rid of that is, one, when you're cutting your onion, put it underwater first, okay? Pop it some underwater. Or if you're ever going to cut the onion, there's this thing called the root, okay? You want to avoid cutting the root off completely. The reason why is once you cut the root off completely, the onion starts shedding its the chemical that'll make you cry. So you want to like keep the root intact as much as possible. Okay, so for me to cut the onion, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to take my onion, right? I have my root on the top, okay? What I'm going to do is now I'm going to cut it in half, okay? Cut it right down the middle. Okay? So where the root was, I cut it right down the middle, okay? So now the root's in half. Now you peel the onion. Peel the onion. You just want to peel that outer layer as much as possible. So once that onion is peeled, okay, onion's peeled, there's this top. I don't like the top, okay? I don't like this part because it doesn't make anything taste good. So what you do is you're going to take your knife, you're going to cut that straight down. Okay? So your root is on the left side, and you just cut it straight down. Okay? Now, to dice an onion, right? To dice an onion, this one's really important. So I'm gonna bring the camera closer so you could see the technique, okay? All right. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay, so to dice an onion. Okay, this is like really important and really big. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your onion. Here's the root. You wanna flip it facing away from you. Then, also when you're cutting too, remember, do the claw method, okay? So when you're cutting and you slice, I'm not gonna chop my finger. But if I cut like this, I'm gonna chop my finger, 100%. So you wanna make sure you claw at it, right? Claw at it and always tuck your thumb back, okay? Like this, so when you're cut, you're not gonna cut anything, okay? So, got that cutting technique down. So what you're gonna do is now we're gonna cut lines across this onion, okay? This is called a dice, okay? So what you do is cut a nice line like that. Cut another nice line like that. And then just keep repeating. Now these cuts are what's gonna make your onion have its thickness, okay? Now for this, when you get to the middle, you wanna cut as close to the root as possible, right here. You wanna cut as close to the root as possible, but not completely cutting the whole thing away, okay? You wanna cut as close to the root as you can without cutting the whole thing. And remember, let your knife do the work. Let your knife do the work. Okay, now that we've cut the lines across, right? Now what you're gonna do is you're going to take your onion, okay? You're gonna flip it to the left side, okay? Then this is the hard part about this cut for dicing. You're now going to take your knife and you're gonna cut right in the middle of your dice. Remember, let the knife do the work and pinch this onion, but make sure you're being safe. Okay? Cut in the middle, and that's as far as you have to go, because the rest of it will be fine. And then if you want a finely dice, what you'd now do is take the top and do the top layer too. But be careful not to cut your finger, because this is the dangerous part. Okay, now that I have my slices across, bang, 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 right? Now I have my slices into the onion itself. Now we chop. This is called a chop, okay? What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your onion and you're just gonna go straight down, okay? Straight down. All right, here we go. You're gonna just finish it off. I might as well finish it off. Bam, perfect. Remember, always let your knife do the work. Always let your knife do the work. Okay? And then when you get to the root, you could always just cut the rest like that. Call it a day. And then you could use the rest like that. Call it a day. And that's how you dice something. Very easy, very simple. Can't go wrong, right? See, look, nice dice. This is called finely chopped, finely diced cutting technique. Very easy, very simple. All right, next. Now, the next technique, okay, I'll just leave it here. Okay, so the next technique that you're gonna be learning is just a regular chop. Nothing special about it, but a good chop will definitely work on your knife skills, right? You always want to be practicing cutting. The reason why you want to practice cutting is because you could get really fast, one. And two, if you could command the cut cooking becomes easy across the board. Okay? Because then you'll learn temperatures and stuff like that. So cutting's really easy. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to regular chop an onion. All right, here we go. So when you're cutting an onion, simple thing. Once again, we have our outer layer, so we gotta get rid of that. I'm gonna cut the top here, like that, get rid of this, and then I'm gonna peel this onion layer. Okay. Okay, onion layer peeled. Now with this, simple chop, okay? What you're gonna do is you're gonna have your top where the root of your onion is, right? This is the top. What you're gonna do is have it on your left again, okay? And then, for this onion, what you're gonna do is now you're gonna chop it. So, you could go as thick as you want, right? As thick as you want, or as thin as you want. I'm gonna go thin. Now remember, claw technique, let your knife do the work. Okay? Let your knife do the work. Let your knife do the work. And chop down. Now, remember, okay? Let your knife do the work. Chop down. And you get super fast. Okay. Alright. So when you get to this end, it's always hard to cut. So what I do is I flip it over, and then I just cut it like this. Just so I could save myself the energy and time, and I don't chop my finger. Like that. Cut the rest of it. Perfect, like that. And then I just throw the nub away. And that's how you chop. That's a regular chop. So your onions are gonna look like this, okay? Now, this technique is really good for like fajitas and stuff like that. It all depends on what you're cooking, but you could always cut it again in half, like that. Or, when it's in a nice like cove like this, right? What you do is you just chop it right in half. Makes your onions a little bit smaller, easier to work with. But yeah, so that's different cutting techniques. Right, so to recap, we went over the dice, and we went over a regular chop. Now, when it comes to the knife technique, once again, remember, finger on top right here, pinch it, okay? And then the rest of your fingers kind of follow through, okay? So you hold the knife like this, okay? And then you let the knife do the work when you're chopping. Always want to have the claw technique, so your fingers do not stick out like this. They're like this, right? And you and chop. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you actually try and chop and dice. It's a very easy technique to learn, but it takes practice. So if you do it once and you mess up, it's okay. You could always do it again later on. Give it a try, give it a go. And remember, like and subscribe to this YouTube channel so you could get more content. And always remember, if you have a post notification bell on, you'll know when we upload our next video. So please check that out. And comment down below if you said you had a hard time or an easy time chopping or dicing. Let me know what you thought about it. All right. Well, have a good rest of your day and have a good cooking lesson. All right. Peace out, guys.